she used to enjoy is gone, and we're basically just staying in the apartment. After she had that slump to the floor, I won't even call it a fall because she really didn't fall. I was holding her in my arms when she went down, but I contacted hospice immediately and had them come to evaluate her, and they immediately realized that we need some help. They brought in a bed for her, a hospital bed for her to sleep on. They brought in a commode for her. And we started having nurse come and nurses' assistants come and chaplains, and we just had today. Today we had, what do we have today? First the nurse's assistant came, then the nurse came, then the social worker came and visited us. And in the meantime, we also met the new doctor that's been put on her case. So today was a hospice day.
Wow, that's a lot of activity.
Yeah, and then about a week and a half ago, well, actually, all right. So once hospice started, the other thing I said to myself was, I need somebody to come at night to help her get to bed.
Okay.
And so I hired people to come from 6 to 10. And put her to bed around 9:30 every night, and that was working out really nicely until last week. And last week, the woman who had taken care of my mother for about 10 years, who I knew quite well and really had a good relationship with, and Candy knew also. And then when my mother died, we got her the job from my aunt who lived down here. And so she worked with her for about a year before she died. And then she went on to find somebody else who I helped her by giving her a glowing letter of recommendation. So she's been in touch with us all this time. She called about a week and a half ago to say that the person that she was in charge of just died. And I put two and two together after a few days of thinking about it. And I said, listen, if I'm going to hire people who I don't know to do it, why don't I hire Surette? That's her name. And I called Surette last week, and she started Thursday. And it's been wonderful having someone who knows us, who loves us, taking care of Candy and me. So it's been a beautiful shift.
Yeah.
And your calling in the midst of this is just so perfect. It's so perfectly timed,
Yeah. Let me ask you, Harvey. You talked about a time when she slumped over. Now, what exactly happened?
I just think that she just became weak in the knees and was no longer able to hold herself up as she had been doing for quite a while, even though she was confined to the wheelchair for over a year. When I could get her out of the wheelchair, all I'd have to do is people used to watch us and they'd say, oh, it's like dancing. I said, yeah, it's like dancing. I would hold my arms out and she would hold my arms, and we would dance from the wheelchair into the bathroom if we had to do that, or from the bed into the living room to get onto the couch. But she was mobile. She was able to do that part of it, not without my assistance because she has very poor balance. But with my assistance, she could do it. All of a sudden, she couldn't do that even.
Uh-oh, Harvey, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, I think I just cut out for just a second. So let me just say the last thing I heard was when you said that she was mobile with your help, that you guys could move around together.
Right. And then all of a sudden that was gone.
I see.
And I knew it was gone. It wasn't like, tomorrow it's going to be all right. it was very clear because, first of all, it took me. Well, I actually called senior helpers here, and they came and no, did I call senior helpers? No, I did not call senior helpers. I finally was able to get her up after a great deal of time trying to get her up and onto the bed. And then I called senior helpers. The following day, she didn't get out of bed all day, 24 hours. And that's when I called hospice and said, she's not getting out of bed. She's not communicating at all. She's just lying there. I said, there's something going on. So they came and they evaluated her and they decided to put her into hospice.
Okay. And Harvey, is this through Medicare?
All I know is I'm not paying for it, so I guess it's something. It's something. It's either Medicare or the hospice has a grant. I don't know how it works. Let me see. I have the booklet here. Okay, the company called Vitas.
Okay.
Healthcare Corporation. I don't see anything that tells me how they do this. The government agencies, businesses to notify of a death. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I don't know. I never even asked. I just knew that it's a service that if they decide that it's appropriate, they put you into it.
Okay.
I've never been contacted by Medicare to say anything about it, so I don't know. It's a very interesting question. I have a feeling that they probably operate off of some kind of grant or something.
Okay.
But I don't know.
That's okay.
I'll check the website after you.
Sure.
You piqued my curiosity.
Now, so I understand that you've had kind of a major shift, that the shift to hospice was in June. Is that right?
Yeah, about June, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So prior to that, you were doing your care routine. You were just doing
full time.
What you were doing.
Full time.
Okay.
Yes.
And what did that look like in the context of the pandemic? Was it just that you just stayed home?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Actually, what happened was on March 13th, March 13th, Candy and I were with a bunch of fellow residents here playing a game. Actually, I was the one who played. She never played games. She never was into games at all. But I was there playing a game, and about 6 days later, they closed down the entire community from going for meals, closing down the dining room, closing down the theater, closing down all of the activity spaces. And then I found out that one of the people who was at that game had COVID.
Oh my!
And was being treated in their apartment. Actually, it was a husband and wife. He had it, and then he passed it on to his wife. So the two of them were in the apartment. I found out, thank God, and because I had been moving around the community myself with Candy from between the 13th and the 19th, and I discovered that. Oh yeah, what would that have been? March 13th. So when St. Patrick's Day is when?
think it's like the
in
7th
March.